Hey guys, my name is Nibiri and it's time for another kicking of the week, and today we're going to be working on the main drop for our track. Last week we've been creating some awesome leads, and this week I've been working off screen to create the build up towards the main drop. And just to have everyone on the same level again, let's just listen to the entire track with that leads and the build up after that. And after that we're going to dive into the drop.
I don't want to fit in. I don't want to be normal. I don't want to be someone else. I create my own reality. I create my own reality.
And of course, if you have any questions about anything that you just heard, drop them down in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. So today we're going to be working on the drop, and I just personally really feel that I want to have this drop, at least the beginning, pure kick only, and just having kick rolls and effects kicks and all weird rhythm kind of stuff. So we're just going to do that first, and after that we're probably going to make a screech and combine it with the end of the drop. I really feel like creating the drop in triplet, and even though the build-up isn't triplet, you can just switch it up inside of a track to just create a different drive and feeling for the listener. And since we're going to start off with kicks, kick rolls and all that type of stuff only, we're really just going to focus on these kick rolls first. So how do I get my kick rolls? I basically just listen to the build up and just let my inspiration flow, and then we'll see what we'll get from there. So I'm just in my head, I'm just imagining what type of kick rolls I kind of want to have in here. And we already had some kick rolls in the intro, and I know that pitching it up by 6 has the right sound for the kick in this track, and it will just sound in tune. So that's why I just pitched it up to 6, because I already know I did that earlier. And well, let's just copy this and just see what we want to do in the next part after this. And sometimes you just want to have a little kick roll in there, but not switching out the bass. You don't want to take away the till. So then what I like to do is just make this unique, and I like to give it another color, like blue. So we're going to give this like a blue color. Put it in a different mixer channel. And in this mixer channel, we're going to take away all the bass from this punch. And what this does, it allows us to just create a kick roll on top of the till without interfering with the bass from the till. So in this gap over here, we're going to create some FX kicks. And I first want to try this inside of Nimble Kick, just because Nimble Kick has a nice distortion in there that we can easily use to create some FX kicks. So let's just open a Nimble Kick and just see if we can get some nice FX kicks in there. The trick to make some nice FX kicks inside of Nimble Kick is by basically just taking Edison and putting it on record. And then we're just going to play around inside of Nimble Kick with this kick effects section. And just by moving this while it's recording, it's going to have different types of FX kicks. And we're just going to take some time sweeping through here and maybe a little bit below there and just see what type of FX kicks we can get out of there, which we'll then paste into our track. So when you're done and you have your recording like this, we're just going to put that in the space where we want our kick rolls, and that's going to be in that little fill over there. So we're just going to put this over there, and we're just going to cut this up a little bit and just play around with this until we have some nice FX kicks. So we're just going to duplicate this, and we're just going to scroll through this, or maybe just take an entirely different part and just see what type of moving FX kicks we can create this way. Doesn't sound that bad. Let's just see if we can find something else. That sounds quite nice. Maybe it sounds nice like this. I think this will work for now, but I'm not sure if this works with the whole build-up and stuff. So we're just gonna check this. I just feel that it works, but it just misses a little bit of flow. I'm just gonna play around with these kick rolls until they sound nice. Now we have the beginning of the right flow for this drop. And what I like to do right now is just take the filtered kick, put that somewhere, and just build upon the rhythm that we already have, and just try to create a nice flow for this. We're just gonna take this, and for example, we can maybe put this over the FX kick to just create some rhythm on top of that. Maybe something like this with some shorter kicks will just also be nice. So I just created the second part of the rhythm over here, and there's only two rules that I really look out for. And that's just listening to the entire thing when I'm creating the second part of the kick rolls. So you want to listen to this beginning over here so that you're sure that the kick rolls in the second half work together with the kick rolls in the first half. And the other rule that I really have is just having a little bit of recognition for the listener. And just this little bit over here, this is a good example of that, because this part over there is just exactly the same. The only thing that's different is this isn't pitched up. But the listener will feel this rhythm coming, and it will just sound a little bit normal for them. So let's start creating a screech in Serum. And I want to add a second wavetable next to this saw waveform over here. And I want to try and make some movement inside of that saw with frequency modulation from that second oscillator. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick a random type of wavetable. So maybe something like this. And because we're going to make this wavetable position move, we're going to put some frequency modulation here. And because of that wavetable positioning moving, it's going to create some movement inside of our frequency modulation on top of that saw. So let me just put an LFO on here, and we're going to create some movement like this. And we're going to introduce a little bit of frequency modulation so that we can make that saw move. Then I like to pitch those wavetables down a little bit, just because it's gonna create a little bit nicer movement inside of the saw wave. Just listen, because if we don't pitch it down, it's just gonna sound a little bit annoying. And right now this sounds a little bit too low, but I think with the right filters and the right distortion we can just make this a little bit higher with something like a flanger. And let's just add a right pitching envelope on this. So we're just gonna take envelope 2 and I wanna make an upward pitching envelope. So we're just gonna put this spike over here, maybe make it a little bit shorter, and we're gonna put this on the coarse pitch. And that coarse pitch is only gonna go in one direction and not unidirectional. And we're gonna put this at like maybe -10 or something to just start with and just see how this sounds. And right now it's just playing around a little bit with the right filters. And I think with this filter we can actually do something, but we really need to make the filter move. Because if we just keep that filter on the same cutoff level like this, it's just gonna sound shit. And if we're just gonna make this move a little bit, we can really create some nice sounds with this. Let's maybe just put this on a unidirectional mode with the LFO on top of there. And let's just see if this creates the right type of movement that we want. So I think something like this will work, and let's just add another LFO on top of the pitching of both of these oscillators, and then that will just create a little bit more movement like a normal LFO in silent would as well. So we're going to take LFO 3 and put it to the fine tune of both of these oscillators, and maybe just put it at around 40, 42 will work, and put them both on there. And then we're just going to take a waveform for this, so maybe a saw or a sine waveform. And we're just going to take away the BPM and we're just going to speed this up a little bit so it creates some tiny pitch movement. And I'm just trying to bring this a little bit in balance with this EQ over here, but we're just going to add an EQ right now on top of this inside of the mixer. So in this EQ, we're just going to take away the lows, of course, and just add maybe a little bit of highs and just make it really balanced. And I've just decided to lower the volume a little bit on this second oscillator, just because that was really just creating too much of that fuzzy background noise which we really didn't need. But this is only the top lead layer for our screech right now, and we're going to take out silent and we're just going to add a nice filthy hypersaw layer to this. Sometimes layering screeches really helps as well, because well, then you can create like a more creative layer like I just did, and then just add another one which might be just a normal hypersaw type of screech, and then you can create just a way fatter sound with just 2 layers. So we're just gonna try and make a nice pitch envelope with this so that it kind of follows the same type of pitching envelope inside of Serum. And yeah, just see if we can create a nice background layer for this. Right now this just sounds like a filthy and way too detuned hypersaw, but we're just gonna add an LFO on top of this to create that extra pitch movement that's really gonna make it dirty. And now that we're done inside of Silent, we're just gonna add an EQ on top of this and then try to layer those sounds together. And of course the screech is really just gonna come to life when we add a pitch envelope or pitch automation on top of this. So we're just gonna put the right pitch bend range on the both plugins, and then we're gonna add a nice automation to this. Alright, now we really have what we need to make this screech and this kick work together. I deleted the notes which we have earlier just because those were placeholders, and well, we still need to make our own rhythm which is gonna fit with our kick. And that's what we're gonna do right now. The thing that I have in my mind is introducing this screech over this reverbed kick over here, and then having some rhythm over here with different types of kick rolls for the second half of the drop. And basically, if I want to do this, or well, when I want to do this, I just try to be as creative as I can and just see what comes up in my mind. And well, we don't have any reverb on this yet, but I just want to focus on the rhythm first. And I'm just going to use one of the two layers and get that pitch bend right, and then we'll just add that second layer. And the rhythms for screeches don't need to be that difficult, and this is something that I still really need to tell myself, because I feel like I want to create something unique and a new rhythm that no one has used before, but it's also in the sound of your screech, that's what's gonna make it unique. And besides that, it's okay to just sometimes choose a basic rhythm that's just gonna work and feel well with your track. But I feel this second part is just a little bit too generic, so I want to try and switch this up just a tiny bit. Something like this will work, and maybe we'll just have to modulate the screech a little bit more, but I feel this can work nicely in this bit over the reverb kick. So now I just want to add some nice pitch bend automation to this, and I'm just trying to be creative with this again, just trying to make something that will really make the screech move and come to life. Now that I have the basic kind of rhythm for this little bit ready, I just want to add some smaller notes again to just add some drive where I feel that it needs it, but I just feel that this rhythm will work, but it just needs something extra. And now of course I feel that this works for this little bit over here and the rhythm works, but we have to make sure that this works with the entire track. So we're just gonna listen to the build up and just the kick part and then see if this screech fits. And this is where we'll end off today, because it's just gonna take way too long to finish that second part. But I hope you like this and learned something from this, and I'll see you back soon again. Cheers!